Welcome to Meditation Mondays. I'm Rebe, as you already know. You can learn more about me at rebeyogini.com, including any of the other classes that I teach throughout the week. I'm really glad to be here with you guys today. Thank you to Dignity Health for sponsoring our class. And to my co-teacher here, Sarah. She could teach us everything we need to know about meditation. Like how to deal with outside distractions. Grateful to be here. Our class is going to have pretty much the same structure it usually does. I'm going to sneak some very gentle upper body movements in on you, also known as yoga. We're going to do meditation on being present and aware of what's happening with us. And we're also going to add a breath in with this as well. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys. So first things first, be sure that you're nice and comfortable. Be sure that there's space around you. You're not going to bump into anything. You're welcome to sit on a chair for today's practice. If you do sit on a chair, be sure your legs are not crossed and your feet are flat on the floor. Preferably barefoot, because we have all these nerve endings that come into the bottom of the feet, these meridian, these energy points, and they are activated when our bare feet are touching the floor. So that's kind of a neat thing. You can see I'm sitting on a pillow. This is just a regular bed pillow that has a fun cover on it. So especially if I'm sitting and I'm not doing a lot of big movements, having my hips raised a little bit makes me more comfortable to sit for the duration of our class. So I invite you guys to try something like that. You may want a bigger pillow. They make special yoga pillows. You know, if you guys want to make that kind of investment into your practice, I highly recommend it. Excuse me. I do have a different yoga bolster pillow, but I'm not using it today. I'm not in need of it. So you have one more person streaming in. You may choose to be sure that you have access to fresh, clean water and to stay hydrated throughout our practice today and beyond the practice. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to rub our hands together, stimulating left and right hemispheres of the brain. As best you can throughout our practice today, we'll breathe in and out through our nose. So as best you can means, you know, if you can't breathe through your nose, breathe by any means necessary. Go ahead and bring the palms together right at the heart center. Closing the eyes if you choose, or allowing the gaze to soften. Begin to be aware of the part of your body that is touching the earth or the chair. As you breathe in, feel the coolness of the breath on the inside of the nose. As you breathe out, feel the warm, moist air exiting the body. Take a moment to set an intention for class. You can think of it as a seed that will be planted, that will sprout, grow, and blossom in its own time. So be unattached of the outcome. In this moment, we're just planting the seed. Follow your breath in and out just a few times, helping us to feel centered, grounded, and connected. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale as you release the hands to the knees. They can be facing down to ground yourself. You can turn them up if you want to get a little bit of energy. We'll start with our breath. This particular 3-part yogic breath, I find to be really pleasing to have one hand on my heart, one hand on the belly. The hand on the heart also represents self-love. The hand on the belly represents self-knowing or self-empowerment. So all of these options are wonderful and all are correct. That's the beautiful thing about your practice, is it's unique to you. So even as we do meditation together, we're all going to have slightly different experiences, and none of them are wrong. So be unattached to the outcome of what you will experience and try to be in the moment of being aware that you are having a experience. All right, our 3-part yogic breath. We're going to exhale completely. When you feel like all the breath is out, let out a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Let that belly get big. Breathe into the belly. Take the breath all the way up. You'll begin to feel the rib cage expand. You'll feel the heart lift just a little bit at the end of the inhalation. As you exhale, we're going to exhale from the top, so the chest will descend. You may feel the rib cage draw in, and then we're going to use the abdominal muscles to press the rest of the breath out. And we want to be sure that we exhale completely, because only by exhaling completely can we fully empty the lungs to draw in a fresh breath. So too often, most of us think we got to take a deep breath by making our bodies really big to breathe in, but more efficiently, we can breathe out completely. Take the breath into the belly, take it all the way up to the chest. So we'll be here in our own breath, our own practice for about another 30 seconds, just focusing on long, deep, complete breaths. You may choose to use the mantra, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. It feels so good to breathe in. It feels so good to breathe out. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I feel calm, body calm. All right, together, let's take one breath in, sit nice and tall, tuck your chin just a little bit, give a gentle squeeze of the muscles on the pelvic floor. That's the rectum, sex organs, belly button, in and up towards the spine. Exhale, we're gonna drop our right ear to our right shoulder, allowing the head to be heavy. Breathing long and deep into the left side of the neck. Remember that everything we do today is optional, and if you don't feel like moving, you can just sit here and breathe with us. Stay with the experience. Notice if anything comes up for you. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Breathing long and deep. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for having a working neck, even if it's sometimes a pain. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Inhale back to center. We're going to turn our head to the right. Drop the chin to the chest on the exhale. So breathing long and deep into the back left quarter. All we're doing is tipping the head and consciously relaxing the muscles of the neck so that this gentle pull gives us a nice stretch. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, turn the head the other way, dropping chin to chest. Breathing long and deep here. Feeling the connection with the breath. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Inhale back to center, take it straight forward. Exhale, looking down towards the floor, or maybe you have your eyes closed. Breathing into the back of the neck. Be sure that you're sitting nice and tall. Just allow gravity to do the work. Sometimes it's hard to let go. Some of us, myself included, like to control the things around me, like to control the outcomes. Inhale as you lift, let's roll the shoulders back. Part of yoga is letting go of the need to control. Let's take our hands behind us, clasp the knuckles, or clasp the fingers, reach through the knuckles, lift the heart, let the shoulder blades touch together behind the back. Exhale, we're gonna round the spine. Inhale. Go ahead and hold on to the shins. We're just going to do a few spinal flexes. Breathing in, breathing out. Just nice big movements. In children's yoga, we call this riding the bumpy camel. So if you want to play and have fun, you can pull in the visualization that you're riding through the desert. And since most of us live in the desert, maybe you can just imagine you're riding your camel home. Beautiful thing about humor is it helps us to release energy. So go ahead to inhale, come back to center. So while we think, oh, I gotta be serious, I'm gonna meditate. No, sometimes we can get deeper in our meditation by being silly. All right, hands on the knees. We're gonna inhale as we come forward. Exhale back. So we're doing two movements here. We're stirring our entire body or moving our upper body like a spoon. We're also extending and flexing the spine. So you can draw it back in. You can use the knees to press off. And let's switch directions. I'm going to switch my feet too. You can do that. if you haven't done so already. So breathing in, breathing out, and feeling that gentle stretch on the side. I'm pretty comfortable still sitting on my pillow, but if you are on a pillow, maybe you want to take it off and just sit on the floor. Do one more on this side. Inhale back to center, sitting nice and tall. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead, take our right hand to the floor, left hand straight up, take a deep breath in, press into the floor, reach up. Exhale, we're just going to slide it out to the side. On your next inhale, press the opposite sits bone. That's the bone under the pelvis or under the butt cheek. And reach even more. Breathing in, maybe you look up at the elbow. Breathing long and deep here. Inhale and release. We're just going to switch sides. Other hand presses in the floor, straight up to the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, walking it out. Inhale. That when you go to lean, that hip's going to want to come off the floor. You can see mine's coming up. I'm going to press it into the floor and reach from my torso. Beautiful. Now we're getting long. Think about growing your body. Most of us are shrinking. I've already shrunk in my life. Take a deep breath here. Maybe you look up at the elbow. Inhale, rise. We're going to go ahead and give a forward fold. If you are sitting on a chair, walk your feet forward and out to the side. That way you have a counterbalance and you lean forward. So inhale as you sit nice and tall, tuck the chin. Exhale, fold as far forward as you can. Inhale as you come up. We're going to cross our legs the other way if you didn't already change them. This gives us our forward fold a little bit different. If you're sitting in the chair, it's going to be the same. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, fold. And go ahead and come up. So the first thing that we're going to do today is heart breath. And I'm just going to look and see. My computer's a little closer than it usually is. So I can... Ooh, we have new people. Yay, welcome. All right, so if you've been attending class, then we've done heart breath before, and heart breath's a beautiful breath that we can use anytime. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, we'll do it, and then we'll go into a present moment awareness where we're just paying attention to everything that we're experiencing, even if it's like not good. Maybe it's like, oh, I've been sitting here this long. Or maybe she's starting to snore. So maybe you start hearing, oh, she's sneezing now. So maybe, there's other distractions. In other words, it doesn't have to always be perfect and peaceful. I highly encourage you guys to have your own meditation practice. And it is helpful if you can go to somewhere peaceful or out in nature. Maybe you can sit on your front porch, or depend on where you live, maybe in the backyard, or maybe on a balcony. Even if you don't have a lot of nature, like you can't go out in the nature. I'm super lucky. There's like lots of government land, like Bureau of Land Management, BLM land out here. I can just walk like for probably honestly, maybe hundreds of miles before bumping into anything, like on all the trails here. Not everybody has that. My point being, you can just sit with a plant, and just admire the plant and be with nature. We can draw nature into us, so we don't have to go out. And so I'm operating under natural light right now. Every day I open my windows, I let the light in. In the morning, I open the windows, I let the air in. So these are little ways that we can invite nature into us, even if we live in maybe a more busy kind of place, a neighborhood, or in a condo or big, tall apartment building. All right, so we're going to do heart breath. Heart breath is similar in mechanics to our long, deep breathing. That was the breath we did when we first started class. So essentially, we're just going to sit nice and tall. And again, take your hands to your knees to ground yourself. If you want to connect into that solid, stable earth energy. But maybe you want to put your hands up and think about receiving or calling in a lightness. So take the version that works for you. When I am teaching, I almost always take this grounded, because as your guide, I need to be stable and connected. When I'm a student, oh, I love this one. So this is the one I do when I'm a student. So take the one that feels good for you, or maybe change halfway through. See if you can pick up on the subtle energy differences. So just sitting nice and tall, we're going to go back to our long, deep breathing. So you remember the three parts. We breathe into the belly, we take it all the way up. So we'll focus less on the mechanics for this breath, and instead just focus on using our lungs in their entirety. So if it's helpful to focus on those three parts, go for it. If it gets you too much in the headspace, just focus on exhaling completely and inhaling fully. So we're going to begin by doing that. And I'm going to add something else that's not part of our heart breath, but it feels appropriate intuitively for me right now. So I'm going to invite you to connect a grounding cord to the base of your spine to the center of the earth. And if you're open to it, it's something that energetically I am able to assist with. So if you're open to it, I can help you with it. And if you're not, then the energy that I'm sending out to our group just won't receive you. You can visualize it yourself. Think about a cord from the center of your spine going all the way down to the center of the earth. And on this cord, there is a button that says release. Like I think of it as a switch. And you can flip that switch. I like to think of it as like maybe even like a drain. So you can put a stopper in the drain. And you can also unplug it, and then all the water just goes down into the earth or maybe into a sewer system. But ultimately, the water, when you wash your dishes and flush your toilet, it ends up back at the earth. Whether it goes to a processing facility and out to the lake, as in Lake Las Vegas, or not Lake Las Vegas, Lake Mead. I'm on a septic system. So my water literally just goes right into the earth about 100, 150 feet from where I'm at right now. So we're breathing. We have this grounding cord. It has a release button, and anything that we don't need, we can release it down. So if something comes up about work, drop it down the cord. If I say something that you're like, oh my gosh, that's silly, goofy, or I don't agree, just drop it down the cord. No big deal. We'll just spend a few moments breathing, releasing anything we don't want from our cord. And then we can also do a general catch-all. Anything that is not serving me, release it down the cord. So you can look down at your cord in your mind's eye. Just visualize anything else dropping down the cord. Something comes up, so you're thinking about something that happened 2 or 10 years ago, you can drop it down the cord. And take about 2 more breaths and just finish up the visualization. And then we're going to detach the cord and just let go of it. It's just going to go right down into the center of the earth. Now we'll come back to our heart breath. Excuse me. So we're going to inhale just the way we normally inhale. And we're going to exhale and visualize energy coming from your heart center out, just straight out in front of you. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling, visualize breathing from the heart. Now, in physical logistics, the breath is still coming in and out through the nose. But energetically, we're inhaling, calling in energy into our body, and we're exhaling out of our heart center. So just be with this breath for a few rounds, inhaling and exhaling out the heart center. And keep going with that breath. And I want you to invite to take that energy that's coming out of your heart center and allow it to swirl around you. So it begins to envelop your entire being. And this is a beautiful, peaceful, healing energy. And maybe you choose to give it a color. I like the idea of it being a white light, white being the purity, the spectrum of all colors. And we can think of it as like a God protection. So I use that word very carefully. If that word does not resonate with you, then you can choose a word that does. The universe, all that is, nature. So it's all creative energy that makes everything in the world so, whatever name you call it. All the names in my experience are correct. So again, if something doesn't work for you, just drop it down the cord. Even though we let it go, you can reattach it and drop it down. You don't have to keep anything that doesn't resonate in your bones. So we're still inhaling through the nose, exhaling from the heart center. We're taking that energy all around us. And I want you to visualize everyone in this class as if we were together in person. So that might be kind of crazy. You don't have to look and see specifically whose names. You can just visualize yourself sitting on your mat and visualize everyone else, even if they're in a chair, just visualize them sitting in a circle. So we're all together. If we were physically in class together, we would be in this formation of a circle because it creates a oneness, a shared experience. So visualize yourself and everyone around you sitting in a circle. We're going to continue to breathe in through the nose and breathing out through the heart center. And we're going to begin to take this energy and swirl it around the group. So I'm going to breathe out through my heart and swirl it around the group. You're going to breathe out through your heart and swirl it around the group. And since there's a lot of yous, I think we have maybe about 10 to 12 people here. Hard to count exactly from here. So a group of about 10 people sitting in a circle, sending healing energy. And whether or not you know the person next to you, just continue to breathe in and send that healing, loving, giving, and receiving heart energy out into everyone within our circle. Doesn't matter if you're near or far, energetically, we can call the people to be right here. So continue to breathe in and out. We'll do this for about 1 more minute. And at some point, I won't tell you when, but at some point, turn your giving off and just allow yourself to receive. So if I don't set a start and end point, we'll all do this at some point. And you'll go from giving that energy to just receiving that energy. So stay with the breath. See what it feels like to receive. After you've taken a little break from receiving, go back to giving. So giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. If we only give, it's actually a selfish act. We also need to receive to be whole. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you've only been giving, take a moment to receive. If you've only been receiving, take a moment to give. So think about it like that perfect harmony, like when a group of people sing row, row, row your boat, and then the time shifts, so people are starting at different times and everybody is singing and listening. And then check in with your body. How does that feel? How does giving feel compared to receiving? For some of us, one over the other will be a lot easier. For most of us, it's easier to give and it's difficult to receive. So if you feel like it's difficult to receive, stay in the receiving mode. Take a moment to take a deep breath and continue exhaling from the heart. So as you keep going through this, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about this heart breath. We're using the loving, healing energy of our heart chakra to give healings to ourselves as well as to other people. This breath is so powerful that when you find yourself in conflict with other people, you can use this breath. And most of us, we have conflict with other people. If you don't, wonderful. For most of us, we can turn on the news right now and there's conflict. Regardless of where you fall on the spectrum of beliefs or ideas, there's a conflict happening constantly. So we can use our heart breath. And it allows that conflict to soften. It's not going to take it away. but it allows us to detangle our own interest from that conflict. And especially if you are in a relationship with another person, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship or family relationship, when you're in conflict with another person, especially when you're in person or even on the phone, it is effective. We can use this heart breath to dissolve the tensions, to soften our own ideas, to open our own listening and our receptivity to hear the other person. And so it's kind of a pretty magical yet simple tool that I highly encourage everyone to do. So let's go ahead, and we're still sitting in our circle. Bring your heart breath back into yourself. So we're no longer giving and receiving within the circle. I want you to think about somebody who is needing the breath. So whether you know someone that's experiencing illness or challenge in their life, breathe your heart breath to that person. If you have more than one person, you can't decide, you can actually send it to more than one person at the same time. So we're still inhaling through the nose. We're visualizing heart breath going from us to wherever the other person is. So it transcends time and space. So if they're on the other side of the world or if they're in the other room, the effect will be the same. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the heart, sending that energy to someone that we know needs it. And you can visualize it. Maybe it looks like a stream, a ripple, maybe a laser beam. Maybe it has a color. Doesn't matter, and it can change. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the heart center, sending that love and that healing to somebody else. So we'll take about another 30 seconds to finish up. If you want to use that 30 seconds to switch to a different person, you can. We can also do something really big, like send it to all the people that are suffering from COVID-19 right now. There's not a limit on how we use it. All right, so take a deep breath in. We're still working with our heart breath. I want you to know that not only can we send it to other people, we can send it into the past. So if you're comfortable with this, you can think about a time or a space where maybe you suffered injury, physical or emotional injury, or there's conflict, and we can take the heart breath to that event. So as you think about it, just breathe in through the nose and breathe the heart breath to that time, space, person. When we practice this exercise regularly, we can begin to, when an old thought comes up, something that you can't change anymore, something that's already done, an old hurt creeps up into our awareness, we can just send heart breath around it. Think about the heart breath giving a big, beautiful hug to whatever that injury is and softening that injury to maybe dissolve and release. Doesn't mean we forget, it just means we don't have that physical reaction of the nervous system activating or going into that fight or flight or freeze mode associated with something. Because we know that when we think old thoughts, that our body literally is reliving it like it's happening now. And a lot of us get caught in the same traumas and dramas and relive the same experiences over and over again. And I also speak from experience, especially the big injuries. So let us breathe into the heart and send that heart breath to that time and space. Even if you're not ready to release it, you can just send the heart breath there. Without any expectation of outcome. You can even in your mind's eye visualize what's happening with it. And it's pretty neat because all kinds of things can come up. You can have all kinds of experiences surrounding it. We don't have to be attached to the outcome. We don't have to think, oh, well, I did it, but I still think about it. No. It can be an instant process. It can be a slow process. Depends on how entangled we are. So staying with the breath, breathing in and breathing out from the heart center to a person or event from the past. And now we're going to take it into the future. So we can breathe in through the nose, breathe out from the heart center into a future event. So maybe if you're going to drive your car somewhere, you can just think about that heart breath going along the path that you're going to be taking. If there is an event coming forward, maybe something you're excited about or even nervous, you can breathe the heart breath into that future event. Think about it as lubricating the rails upon which you are going to travel soon. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the heart to a person, place, or thing into the future, or the actual journey itself going somewhere. And we'll be here for about another 60 seconds. And finish up your last exhale from your heart. And inhale and pull yourself all the way into your body. So maybe you want to take your arms out to the side, inhaling all the way up with a right into your body. So we've been traveling around the world, right? So time, space, visualizing the past, the future, traveling to someone else's location to give them healing. We're going to bring ourselves into our present moment. Here we are in our physical body, sitting in the room, in the place where we're at, in this day and time, completely in the present. And you can release your heart breath. Just breathe normal and natural. In fact, for these next few minutes, if you want to lay down, that's an option for you as well. We're going to bring ourselves into the present moment, still remaining connected to our breath. Feeling our breath move in and out through the nose, or by any means necessary. And notice where your physical body is at. Where you're at, maybe by address, and by building, by room. And then where you're at in the room. If you're on a mat or a pillow or a chair, what direction you're faced within the room. Notice what part of your body is touching your body. Bring your awareness to your ears, to listening. Do you listen at your full capacity? Are you quick to talk? So in this moment, listen. Listen to all the different layers of sounds that you hear. The obvious one is my voice. Maybe you hear your air conditioning system. Maybe you hear traffic or other voices. Allow yourself to identify as many different sources of sound as you can in this moment. And keep bringing your awareness back to where you're located, where you're sitting, not going too far outside yourself, staying wholly in the now. Feeling the breath move in and out. Feeling what you feel in your physical body. Maybe you're feeling a little stiff because we've been sitting for a long time. Maybe you feel the gentle breeze from a fan or the window or the ventilation system. Maybe you feel your hands on your knees or your clothes on your body, your hair on your head or neck. So just for the next few moments, notice how many places you feel touch. Maybe all of a sudden you feel the heaviness of your glasses on your face. Something that you might not even feel all day long. Right now we can feel it. Because right now we're in the present moment. Bring your awareness to your bottom, what it's sitting or laying on. Feeling that connection with earth energy. Feeling that connection with our breath. Let's bring in some affirmations just for the present moment. I am healthy. I am well. I am strong. I am happy. I am healthy. I am well. I am strong. I am happy. I am healthy. I am well. I am strong. I am happy. And add your own affirmation just for this moment. And repeat it to yourself at least 3 times. And take a deep breath in. Gently stretch your arms, stretch your neck. Maybe add a little side stretch in. We're just bringing our awareness back to our body. Gently open your eyes or flutter your eyes open. Maybe you straighten your legs. Here's where we add the humor. Your body makes a big creaking sound, maybe a forward bend, whether you're in a chair. If you're on the floor, you can do a side twist. If you've been coming to class, you pull your knees into your chest, drop the knees to one side and look over the opposite shoulder with the arms extended along the floor. If you're doing a side twist, you can do the other one. If you're seated, we can do a little twist here. Just grabbing on the opposite knee and very gently turning the other way. All righty, let's go ahead and bring our hands together. I encourage you guys to drink lots of water, to grab a journal, write down some of your thoughts. You can do it on paper. You won't be distracted when you pick up your phone to take a note or on the computer. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Breathing into the heart, feeling gratitude and letting gratitude expand to every cell in our body. We'll close our practice with a bow. And this bow is honoring the amazingness in you. So it's a bow to you, from you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely and breathe in again. Thank you, everyone. And if you have questions, you want to share experience, I am open to all of it. So here's the button. You guys can unmute yourselves if you have a question. Hey, Chris.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, first of all, I want to compliment you on the class. I really enjoyed it. It was a very good meditation. All right, so as far as the heart breath goes, and you had mentioned that we can send it to something that happened in the past. And so, and you're talking about conflict, and I have conflict that still bothers me today about my own actions that I've done in the past. Not to get specific, but some things that, you know, still bother me today that I can't erase. There's some mistakes I made, so and so. So I'm sending my heart breath in my mind during the meditation back to the past. And for some reason, it's an orange color. And I don't know what that means yet, and I'm sending it back to myself back in that time, but I am having a little conflict with myself as I'm doing it because I don't want to condone the actions that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
But I want them to stop bothering me today. And I'm wondering if there's some way I can, basically, if you have any advice for me, if I can accept it as a mistake I made and I have to move on. But I had a problem sending warmth and love to my former self when I don't want to condemn these unspecified actions.
So let's just say you screwed someone over in a major way, right? Okay. On purpose or on accident.
I don't know if I want to say that, but okay.
Well, no, I'm giving it a big example. This is not specific to you. This is a big example because we've all screwed people over. We'd like to believe we didn't do it on purpose. You know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. You know, and that's part of owning. So in terms of the color, there's different colors in our chakra system. And each color represents that center. So orange represents our second chakra. This is associated with love and money. It's associated with creativity. So you can decide if any of that applies. And then we don't really have time to go into great detail anymore about the chakras right now, but you can look them up or we can have a private conversation later about that. But we're not going to be able to change it. So we're not looking to change it. We're just looking to send healing to that. And I would encourage you to disconnect any attachment from your mind. So if something's bothering you, maybe it's forgiveness for yourself in that moment because there's some reason you made that decision in that moment. And maybe, I don't know what it is. And everyone else is listening. This is my brother. So I know, and he comes from the farthest. He's in South Korea right now. So my conversation with you is going to be a little bit different, but just generally what I would give to everybody here is that we're all good people. We all mean to do well. Sometimes we make some pretty crappy decisions and sometimes those decisions hurt other people. So you can just send forgiveness to that version of yourself that made that decision. Maybe that was the best decision you can make at the time. Maybe you can just own that you were being, and you meaning anybody, that maybe there was a dark part. Maybe there was a selfish or a greedy or maybe a sense of lack. Maybe you were trying to get something, you know, I don't know, for whatever reason. Or maybe you were just dumb. Sometimes there's been drugs or alcohol involved in decision making. So, you know, and then people get hurt from that too. So just allow like the compassion from your present self to that experience. And you're not going to change it. It's not going to go away. And if it's something that you're really, really regretting, I don't know if that's the right word or not, then maybe there's something in the future. Maybe there's healing that needs to happen between you and another person, or, sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes we get stuck. I know I personally have had stuff where I've done stuff I regretted in the past, but it's really hard to go back and clean up the mess. So sometimes maybe the person dies. We've had conflicts with people. Chris and I have the same dad. So there's been conflicts with people that are no longer with us. And I've been able to use this. We can send this heart breath to people that are no longer living and think about like healing in that regard.
Okay, I got you. You answered it perfectly. And if you don't mind me asking one more quick question.
Yeah.
You were talking about when we're sending our heart breath and we should give it as well as receive it. And something that stuck in my mind, which I'll remember, which is I've never thought about this way. If we're rejecting what people are giving us, that's also, what was the word you used? Not
It's
maybe rude?
selfish.
Selfish,
Selfish
yeah.
and greedy,
That's a selfish act, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I'm thinking, okay, I want to send it to somebody else that I might be having conflict, like a friend from the past or something like that. And that person might not know that I'm sending it. And I don't feel if he is sending it to me. So should I still try and receive something from that person, not knowing if that person is sending it to me? Is it selfish for me to not try and receive something?
They don't necessarily go together. So
okay,
it's just the idea, like when we were talking about us being in a circle. So in that context, it's all of us sitting together and sending energy to everyone else within the circle. So we're sending within this circle and we're receiving within this circle. If you're sending energy to someone who's not even thinking about you, no, you're not expecting to be receiving that back from them.
Right, I got you. Okay, that's what I was thinking as well, because we all know we're sending something, so it's selfish not to try and get it back. Yeah.
Here's a really simple example that a lot of us don't even realize has to do with receiving. Oh, you look really nice today. I like your outfit. Oh, I just threw this on.
What? Right. Yeah.
Like you're deflecting. So that's something almost all of us do. The right answer to receive it is just to say thank you.
Right.
Maybe you want to share, oh, I got it on sale, but maybe you don't. But just to be able to receive, just to say thank you, and just to be in that compliment.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, sister.
My pleasure, brother. How are you doing, Pam? I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's true.
Hi, Pam.
It's hard. Hi, Christopher. Yeah, it's hard to receive sometimes. Yeah, from different things. It's especially, you hate to ask for help. I'm one of those people that don't like to ask for help, and it's hard for me to accept it sometimes, and I know I need it sometimes. So yeah, it's one of those things you have to change your whole mindset.
Yeah. And that you're not bad for asking for help, and that you're worthy of receiving help.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that because I'll drop like a whole bunch of eggs before I'll ask for someone to reach out and hold the carton for me. That's my quick example.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Wonderful. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
Yes, since I wasn't feeling so well today, it was good that I fell asleep because I was so relaxed in the middle of it, but I missed half of it, I think. I wish this one isn't a way to figure out what you said. I mean, I don't know where I fell asleep.
You know what? You received all of it. So whether or not your conscious mind remembers, you heard it all. So it's perfect.
That falling asleep club is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep too, Gasper?
Just barely toward the end, but not like the first time that we met, snoring and all that nonsense.
Oh, since Gasper brought it up, Gasper full on fell asleep in physical class.
Wow.
He was the only one. It was just he and I, and he was like sleep. I was like, should I wake him up? So I just waited. He eventually came back. I didn't want to embarrass you by talking about that, but it's a very fond memory.
It is.
I was a little sleepy last week when we were doing that visualization. Going through the forest and everything. I was really relaxed. So
yeah,
so it was a good feeling. Actually.
Let me ask you one thing. I don't get colors of any kind. What's the story there?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I get colors and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one time I got a little blue, Columbia blue kind of thing, but beyond that, not very much.
Yeah, so it's just we're creating a visualization, or we're just receiving a visualization. And the colors, like I said, they do align with our energy centers, and they can have different meanings if you want to dissect it down. But if you don't get it, no big deal.
What is blue? Anything?
Blue is our throat chakra. This is our area of communication.
Oh. Well,
And is purple similar to blue? Because I had a purple one during this class as well.
Purple is our third eye. It's our area of intuition.
Oh, okay.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
our ability to see without seeing.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Rebe. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, yep.
Thank you all. Take care.
My
Take
Take it easy,
pleasure.
Casper.
Does anyone else have any questions before I call the
I-
meeting?
Yeah, I just hope again that this is one that you record so I can consciously get what I missed.
I do record them. They're not yet available publicly.
Yeah, I
Maybe
hope you'll do
sometime in the
that soon.
future.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right. Good
Well,
night, everyone. It's
Well,
good
good
to
night,
see
everybody. We'll
you.
see you
Thank
next
you. See
Christopher,
everybody.
And I'll see you this weekend.
Bye,
Rebe.
Pam.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday. Woo!
Yes, I'll be there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.